Hey, what's going on, good people? This is Gardner Douglas, your oyster ninja with Culturally Rich Podcast. What's going on, gents?
What's good? What's good? This your boy Kev. How everybody doing out there?
Yo, yo, what's good? It's your boy Ron the Great. What's good, world?
So we got a great show lined up for you. We got the one and only Ryheem Johnson. I'll give an interview. An introduction when he comes on. But just to let you guys know, if you want to come on a podcast, if you're doing something great for the community, for the culture, just shoot us an email at culturallyrichpc@gmail.com. All right, we're about to bring Mr. Johnson on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see that movie star right there, that is Mr. Ryheem Johnson. We got actor, comedian. We got etc.
You see that? Hey, what's good, y'all? How you doing? How you been? How you feeling? What's good?
Mr. Johnson, what's going down, man? How you making out with this COVID-19, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm in the crib. I got a baby, so every day go by real fast. I don't even know if I'm really in a quarantine for real. I just feel like I don't pay for daycare no more.
Save that money.
And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. That's all that is. Cause for real, my primary job, I was already working from home. So now I just can't go nowhere on the weekends now for real. So I'm cool with it. I ain't tripping. I ain't even tripping.
That's what's up, man. I forgot to get the full introduction. You got to add, new husband, new father,
Bruh.
new, huh?
New stress.
Uh-oh, there you go.
Congratulations to you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you already know how all you do the same thing. So you already know how that is all together. So every year it was a new project. We got married one year, and then the next year we bought a house, and the next year we got a son. So it's like, what's
Trickle
gonna happen
effect.
next year? Right. It's just, every
All in
year.
that order.
So it's all good. I've been enjoying the journey, quote unquote. So I'm not just family. So it's like I always have something going on myself. So time goes by fast.
Hey, man, just go ahead and break it down, your journey, man. You started on the Eastern Shore. Start from
Mm-hmm.
the bottom. Let us
Start from the bottom. Okay, so right off the gate, man. Like our fellow New Churchian uh um Mike would say, got it came from the mud, man. Get it from the mud. And
Yeah, from the
I
mud.
was all my family is from Witham's or New Church, and I grew up on Brittany Drive, or Brittany Lane. There's a Brittany Lane, and like right off on the end, and 6087, man. And I just remember, like when I was a kid, my grandmom used to get those Spiegel catalogs. Y'all remember them Spiegel catalogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandma used to always get those, right? So just being in there and like looking in the books and stuff, like all the models and stuff like that, I didn't really understand that they were models when I was younger. I just thought like somebody took pictures of them while they were in the street with these clothes on. So then, like as I got older, I think when I was in third grade or second grade, we moved to Parksley, well, Gargotha rather. And my grandma used to always buy me church suits or whatever. She wouldn't go to church with us. She would send me with my father. And we would go to church out in Temperanceville. And she used to always tell me, you look good in anything you put on. She used to always gas me up like that. So as I got older and older, she used to always say, and I was like, you know what? I remember the Spiegel catalogs. I'm actually do that one day. I'm gonna try it out. Somebody gassed me up to go to this casting call out in Philadelphia because I went to college out in Wilmington, Delaware. That's probably like 15, 20 minutes from Philly. The part that I lived in, North Wilmington. So I went out there and I got booked. I did a fashion show. Then I did another fashion show. And then I was doing like fitness and physique competitions and stuff like that. I was real heavy into personal training and stuff like that. So I won a couple physique competitions out there. I was nationally qualified and everything. And that helped me with my modeling because people always wanted somebody with their shirt off. So I was like, that, you gonna pay me to take my shirt off? That's nothing. So I was doing that. And then I actually got picked up and did a fashion show for New York Fashion Week. So it just started building up and building up and building up. And then I just started acting. You know, I was just interested in it. I did a play. And then, you know, some people was like, yo, you should just take it more seriously. Just take it more serious. And I did. So I got this. I actually was, I did a play. And then I actually got a part in doing background work for the movie Creed in Philly. And then just seeing that, like just seeing it, like seeing something huge like that pop off and be a part of it somewhere was just crazy. So after that, I was like, yo, I'm about to do this. I went to acting school in Westchester in Philadelphia called Playhouse West. I actually ended up having a mentor, Tony Savant and Thomas Moses, an older Black guy. He came from the time with like Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier, and stuff like that. That's who he used to be a co-star with. So, you know, just letting them pour into me. And then there was like a streak of like 10 months, 10 or 11 months. Whatever I auditioned for, I would end up getting it. So I felt like I was on fire, you know what I'm saying? And
That's
after
a blessing,
college,
man.
I know, right? I was just like, that energy and that momentum was just so crazy. What I did skip though is I went to college at Goldie Beacom in Wilmington, Delaware, and I got my undergrad in accounting, and then I got a master's in marketing, right? Marketing management. So I had a decent job, you know, at this trust fund company. And after like maybe like 3.5 years, I quit. I just quit. I was like, yo, I don't have to be like, you know, waking up every morning, going for my morning run, and then getting ready for work, and then going to the gym, and then trying to see if I can make an audition. I was like, yo, I can do this on my own. You know what I mean? So I just quit, and I just chased that, you know, that modeling and acting career full time. And I had always been personal training part time. So I just picked up more clients and like, just trying to, you know, just do it on my own. And then Uber was popping. I would do Uber in Philly, you know, during the week when I didn't have gigs and stuff like that to keep me afloat. And then one day, man, I was just getting emails from this casting company, and they sent me this thing they wanted me to audition for TV One. And I auditioned. I got the lead role, one of the lead roles, and I was on this show called For My Man, and I was killing this old white dude, and apparently I killed him pretty good because I got another episode and I killed somebody else. So so I did a couple episodes with that, man. That same casting company just was looking out for me when stuff would come up. I did another show on this show called Copycat Killers. And I don't know if y'all remember that big story where the guy went into the movie theater. It was a Batman movie. He shot up all them people in the Batman during the Batman movie.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were actually doing an episode on that story. It's like a murder reenactment. And I got a part as one of the paramedics that came to the theater to get people out and like trying to help people get out. So, I mean, it was a small role, but again, like another dope set to be on. And from there, man, I was just like doing web series. I actually just rewatched the web series that I did called The Worst of Us. It was a real like, you know, like low budget type of joint, but then it actually blew up. Like each video got like 10K views and stuff like that. So in the area, it became something, you know what I mean? Like out here in the DMV area. So after a while, when I met my wife actually already lived in the DMV area, and I was living in Wilmington. So at some point you get that ultimatum, like, all right, where we gonna live?
What you gonna do, player?
What you gonna do? So, I mean, I don't have any family in Wilmington, and most of her family live here, so it only made sense. So actually I proposed to my wife at New York Fashion Week one year. It was, and the fashion show was on Valentine's Day.
Appreciate you for setting that bar. Thank you. Carry on.
Wait, no, you already did it, man. You already did it. So everything was just lining itself up, and I was still doing my modeling stuff. So it was Valentine's Day. We in New York, Fashion Week. You know what I'm saying? People got money everywhere. I wasn't one of them, but it was a great atmosphere. You know, it was a great atmosphere to be in. I got her and one of her homegirls to come up, and they helped me. She helped me with the surprise. And real quick to tell you how I did that, I had a designer actually help pretend that he was actually giving me an award, and I brought her up to thank her for her support and stuff like that. And when I opened the joint, it wasn't a plaque. It was a big post that said, "Will you marry me?" So like I won. I won with that. I won.
That was dope.
I won.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, man, I moved out here. I've been doing some gigs. Of course, when I came out here, I had to get a real job. So I have been working at Boys Town in Wilmington, in Washington, D.C. I was a business office manager out there. I left there. I work at NIH, National Institute of Health. And of course, now I feel like I'm getting that energy back now where I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying, just lay down some more routine practice with my acting and stuff like that. I don't model anymore because I'm married and she don't care about how many underwear sponsorships I get. She don't want me out here half naked no more. So I went on and gained weight to prove that I don't really care anyway. And I'm in the process of losing that weight now. So so I mean, it was just an up and down journey to get to where I am now. And like right now, I just feel like I'm at that same point again where that momentum is building up with my acting, where I feel like within the next year, I don't want to be working for anybody again, because now, you know, like earlier this year in January, I started out the year with a pretty decent gig. I did a Geico commercial, and that was just like out of nowhere. Like I was actually doing a play out here, and it's a Christmas play called The Uncut Coming of Christ, and it's at a mega church. Actually, I'm a member of the church, First Baptist Church of Glen Arden. And
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, I heard of that church.
yeah, Pastor John K. Jenkins. And listen, this play was so big. Like we did 2 weekends, 3 shows each weekend, packed house each time, like 4,000 to 5,000 people every single show for 6 shows. And like just the amount of like people, and I had a real comedic part in that. And just like the amount of like following and support I got after that was just crazy. Like I started going to another acting school out here. My coach now is named Mark McKinnon, and like I said, like that momentum is just so crazy right now. If this pandemic is either helping or just like a comma in it, because like right now, like right before this, like I was getting so many invites for auditions that it was like crazy. And then all of a sudden I can't go to them, you know what I mean? Because of the pandemic. Like I just like just last week, I got 2 emails where, you know, they were still like hitting me up, making sure I'm still interested in doing the project when this is all over. And, you know, people asking me, hey, so I heard you did this Geico commercial. Could you send me that over? And blah, 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 blah. So it's like, as soon as this over, I can't wait to get back out here and snap on a couple projects, get my son in a couple projects. And
yeah, man, I can't wait to be your security, cause I know you're gonna need security for all that.
Man, look, I'm not gonna knock it. Honestly, I actually don't want to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like some people be like, oh, I want to be a movie star. I do, but at the end of the day, I can't imagine not being able to go anywhere without security. So you're right. You will get hired as security if it comes to it, but I hope it don't. I
You
hope
know
it
it
don't.
will, man. It's a blessing. You was
I want
meant
to go
for it.
to the grocery store and do what I gotta do, man, and let it be that. Like, so one of my homeboys, one of my best friends now, a gospel singer, Anthony Brown, and he's to that point where he can't go to the grocery store without somebody following him. You know what I'm saying? Like people would just be like, oh, hey, can I get a picture? Oh, hey, can I get a picture? You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even want to tell my dad that I was friends with him because I knew my dad was going to want to meet him. You know what I mean? Like that type of popularity. I
It's
don't
a
know if
gift
I
and a
want
curse.
yeah, it's a gift and a curse. Exactly. Like I got a family, be out to dinner and I can't even eat my food. Now my food cold because people keep coming over here. Like I don't want to do that. But yeah, it's all in the plan. It's all in the plan though, you know. Yeah, I got to get y'all out to some comedy shows, man. I have like a few things lined up for after the pandemic is over. Matter of fact, my manager actually called me like 3 days ago, and he wants me to do this. He actually got the place already booked and stuff. I'm supposed to be doing like 2 30-minute specials.
Yeah.
Out here or whatever, and one of them he wants to do like a COVID-19 edition, so that way I can just send it out live so people can just watch it or whatever, like download it, and just watch it like that. I don't want to do it because it won't be that many people in there. And that energy, like if I can't hear you laugh, how I know I'm being funny right now?
Right,
And you
right.
can't feed off of it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have anything to feed off of, but yeah, man, that's all I've been doing, man. I just been out here just
Yeah,
trying
that's
to.
all. That's
I
all.
just been out here trying to be able to put somebody on to be like, yeah, I'm from the Eastern Shore of Virginia, and I just want to be the first person on TV be like, you from where? So that way I can break it down for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
because
Right.
nobody knows where the shore is at. So that's good. It's good that you out there doing that, man.
Man, honestly, you'd be surprised how many people actually know of that patch of land, but don't know it's called anything. Like, like people don't understand that. Like, there's real life civilization out there. Like I was telling somebody, if you tell somebody about Chincoteague, more people know about Chincoteague, the island, as opposed to the whole Eastern Shore of Virginia. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, if you coming from this way and you pass Salisbury and you end up getting to the bridge, the Chesapeake Tunnel, you went through the Eastern Shore of Virginia to get there. They're like, oh, that's what that is. You actually live there. I'm like, all right.
That's enough. Cut it out. Cut it
Don't
out.
be shady my hometown.
Right, yo, don't come on my hometown, dog. Like, you thought that was a pit stop? You know what I'm saying? Like, this place to get gas.
So have you thought about, well, I guess you kind of hit that, but like just doing like the live stream, just like all the DJs are doing. So is that what you talking about with your manager or what?
No, so what my manager wants to do, my manager is like, he wants me to be literally at this studio and be on the stage and like be dressed and like do that joint with like 5 or 6 people in there and just like make it more of like an intimate watch. You know what I mean? As opposed to a live stream. And I mean, quite honestly, I don't really know how people get on live and just be like trying to do real material. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get on live and just be talking. I can just talk about some stuff and, you know what I mean, just crack some jokes. But I don't know about getting on there and just doing like a whole routine. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if me and another comedian linked up and we just did a live and us two just talk and be funny like that, let people comment. That's different. But I've been seeing people like get on and like really do a set. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's
right.
like, that's weird. Like my man Kevin said a second ago, like you need that energy to feed off of, or at least I do, because I did actually in February, the end of February, I actually did a show for this church, and mind you, I do all clean comedy. Like I don't cuss at all on stage. The worst I might say is nigga, and I might drop one of them. So I
The
do
N word. Oh no, we got to get you off of here, brother. You got to go.
That's the big
Got
one.
that's
to
what I'm
go.
saying. And I'll say that out of like pure moment. You know what I mean? Like, but no. So like I started out with doing some of my regular material, and I did like 5 minutes, and then the next 25 minutes was me going off on a whole tangent. You know what I mean? Like just talking to the crowd. So that right there is like, you know, like I need some people to bounce off of. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing funnier than an authentic moment. You know what I mean? Like
No
you can
doubt.
plan to be funny, but if something just happened, like if your kid right now just like jumped out your lap and like went crazy, like that would be funnier than if you planned to do it.
Gotcha. That's what's up. I know you said that you don't curse or anything like that much. Who motivated you? Well, not who motivated you. Who you inspired to? Who inspired you as far as like in the business?
Well, honestly, I don't think anybody, no one, and that's a hard way to. Well, it's not that hard to answer. So beforehand, I actually wasn't cursing. You know what I mean? Like when I married my wife. All right, so I've always been in church, right? Except for there was a gap in time when I was in college and I was a full-fledged heathen. You know what I'm saying? And I was living my best heathen life. You know what I'm saying? But especially when I started out modeling, I thought I looked like something. Had a little 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with whatever came with that. But after I met my wife is, you know, really into, you know, Christianity. You know, she's a Christian. She, you know, she lit, like, matter of fact, my wife and I were actually celibate before we got married. And, you know, that's a part of my stand-up. You know what I mean? Like my stand-up is like really talking about real life. So just being with her and being around her so much, I ended up just stopped cussing and never realized I didn't cuss anymore. So it was like, what's the point of me getting on stage and trying to cuss now. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're
You
not
want to be
funny, you're not
yourself.
funny. Yeah, it would. So me not cursing is just me being my authentic self on stage, and it works. It works in my behalf most of the time because a lot of people don't really want to care. F bomb, F bomb, F bomb. You know, some people cuss and it makes it funnier, but sometimes you just watering it down. It's like anybody can cuss. Tell me a joke.
Dude, that's what's up.
So, yeah, a lot of people always ask, yo, you got to help me write clean comedy. You got to help me write some clean jokes. Like, no, tell your joke and then don't cuss. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? There's so many other ways to say that the woman walked in the store. You ain't got to say it in this B and in this hoe and in this. You know, you ain't got to say that.
Yeah, that's true.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
give her a name. Give her a name.
That's all it takes, right?
Yeah, it's real simple. It's real simple.
Cool, man. So what's gonna be your what's your goal for as like comedy? Or is it like, do you want to put the comedy and the acting together, or however it comes?
That's a good question, bro. Honestly, if I had the opportunity to never do any more stand-up, but I could book acting gigs every week, I would do it. I would always pick acting over comedy because, to be completely honest, how I got into comedy is when I did one of the shows on TV1. We actually used this guy's house, and he has like this mansion, this huge house out in Bowie, and that's where we were shooting. And he was like, "Yo, you're naturally funny." Like we were just having silly conversation offside, and on the set. And he was like, "You should try doing some stand up." I was like, "Doing some what?" He said, "Do some stand up." I was like, "I'm standing up now." And he was like, "No, like do some stand up comedy, man. Like you'd be good." So my wife and I hadn't even gotten married just yet, but I already moved out here to the DMV. So I told him, I said, "Listen, after I get married, I'll think about picking up another, something else to do." But after a while, I wasn't booking as many acting gigs, and I was getting that itch. You know what I mean? Like if you any part of the art, you understand. Like after a while, you just crave doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you a mechanic and you can't go outside and work on cars, you end up watching it on TV, watching some show about cars. You know what I mean? Like if that's in you, you need to perform. So like the natural word is thespian. When you're a true thespian, you got to find an outlet. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. So I came up with a little 7-minute set, and I did it at this open mic at this popular spot in Washington, D.C. called Ben's Chili Bowl. And I went up there and I did 7 minutes. And when I got off that joint, everybody was clapping, cracking up. And then the lady got up there and was like, "Now, look, y'all, this is first time ever doing comedy." And everybody was like, "What? That was your first time?" And I actually booked 2 gigs that night from doing my first 7-minute set. And ever since then, I just be doing comedy. I just be getting booked, doing comedy, blah, blah, blah. Just get booked, get booked, get booked. And at one point, I think, the first time I did stand-up was December the 7th, 2017. That's my comedy birthday. In August, I was opening for this guy named Gerald Kelly. He from Atlanta, Georgia, and he was like Def Jam comedy. He did comedy. What was the joint on BET? Comic View, and like a whole bunch of joint, right? And when he came out, he was like, "Yo, how long you been doing comedy?" And at that point, it's what, like 7-8 months. And I told him 7 or 8 months. He was like, "What?" And I did 2 30-minute sets. And it was just because it was just so natural. But at the end of the day, that's just because I'm silly. I'm not a comedian. I'm only a comedian because I get paid to do it. I'm an actor. When I'm on stage, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling stories. I'm being comedic just because it's funny, but I'm really acting. So the answer to the question is, I don't care about comedy that much to pick it over acting. Never.
Gotcha.
Outlet.
Well, I know you're a busy dude. You got a lot of stuff going on. How you balance everything? I know right now it's the pandemic, but besides after the pandemic or before, how you balance it with your kid, your wife, your jobs?
The honest answer on that is my wife. My wife just be supporting me because, I mean, a lot of time, especially all us, we fellas, we understand, like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any of y'all relationship, but at any given time, if y'all wanted to go and do something else that's aside from what you already do, the only way that's gonna become easier is if she cool with it.
That's true.
You
That's
know what I
true.
mean? If you getting a lot of flack about, doing something you enjoying doing, it makes it seem like it's a struggle. But me, I got a partner where, especially before the baby was born, she went to every single one of my shows. She was like, "Oh, you got another show? All right, I'm coming. Oh, it's just gonna be an open mic. Yeah, I'm not getting paid tonight. Oh no, I'm gonna come."
That's
Like
dope.
I'll be coming up with a new joke, and like I'll be just in the kitchen doing something, and I'm just like preparing more material in my mind, and I'll start laughing to myself. She was like, "Oh, what's that? A new joke?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "All right, let me hear it." And like she'll want to hear it, or if I come up with 2 different ways of telling the joke or something like that, or like conveying a story to the crowd, she will want to hear both of them and then tell me which one is funnier. You get what I'm saying? When I'm doing my act, like today, I got 2 auditions that I got to turn in. She'll be the one reading the other lines on the side of the camera and holding the camera up. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
support right there, boy.
exactly. So it seemed like it's a lot, but the only reason it don't seem like a lot is because I'm always doing it with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like my art, it's not something I got to do in spare time because she makes it a part of her spare time too. So yeah, I get to do that because I got that support. My part-time, I got a full-time and a part-time job, and like she know I'm out trying to get money for the house. So it's like she ain't mad I'm trying to make money.
Man, ain't nothing better than somebody being on your side, man. I know exactly what you
Right,
mean, and that's a
right.
beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, Ninja.
So, hey man, don't be throwing them N words around like that.
Nah, I'm
No
talking about the
doubt.
oyster Ninja.
Of course you was. Of course you was. I'm just waiting for somebody to slip up real quick.
Nah.
Since now that you're like in acting and comedy, so what is your biggest challenges, man, that you have?
Fitting the part for real, man. Like so the two things what I mean by fitting the part is like with comedy, the issue with comedy is the fact that since I'm a clean comedian, my stage name is Clean Ryheem.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people consider me as like a Christian comedian right off the bat just because I don't cuss. You see what I'm saying? So what the issue becomes with that is people don't think that I can perform on stage with comedians that's just gonna come up there and be straight ignorant and cuss the whole time and stuff like that. They think that that's not my lane, so they don't be putting me on shows sometimes. But then when I do a show and they realize that like my joint was sometimes funnier than the other person, you know what I mean? It's humbly spoken, like it becomes a conflict with my comedians now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's all about energy. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times what happens if I do a room that no one there really seen me do anything besides maybe the promoter who brought me or something like that, the host will end up putting me first or second. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And when you do comedy and you do it, like like you structure your set, you can really create a like not a format, but you can create a mood in the room that the next comedian has to walk in. So if I came up there and I did all clean jokes and I was funny, I ended with a Jesus joke. You get what I'm saying? The next person that get up there and start saying hoes and bees and tramp and then this FFF, it feel a little awkward now because
It does.
everybody was just laughing and killing it with a Jesus joke. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of comedians actually don't like being on the card with me or a comedian like me because, you know what I mean? Because like they feel like they don't want to go before me because the order, and a lot of people don't realize it, but a show is supposed to go up.
Yeah.
You put least funniest person, and then you know what I mean. You're supposed to structure it that way. The crowd is gonna get the most laughs at the end.
Yeah.
But if you go in front of me, and if you go, so some people's all right. Another thing, the fact that I haven't been doing comedy as long as a lot of people, especially when I was first starting out, they realize I only been doing comedy for like a year, maybe not even a year, and they've been doing comedy for 15 years.
Yeah.
It's an insult to put them in front of me.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So people would be like, "Oh, why?" why I'm going before him? Like, what you trying to say? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it in the comedy world, there's a whole lot of that some people with egos and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's something big that I run into with doing comedy. Just the fact that I'm clean and like I appeal to several audiences. And if there's people on that card that just don't want to be in my mix, like I've got one comedy friend. You know what I'm saying? Like one comedy friend. I had another friend before, but like like that. It was just that energy, and I don't even want to get on that. But with acting, the issue I have with that is, like you can have talent, but if you don't look the part, you don't get the part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you don't look like a lawyer, they're not gonna book you to be a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And then getting the opportunity to be able to make all auditions was a big thing too. But now I'm going into an area now with work where I'll be able to make more. That's how I got the Geico gig.
Yeah.
But so I think with the acting part, I think I'm really getting out of those areas where I feel like I'm being a little trapped. But now it's the pandemic. As soon as I catch a little fire, everybody want to get sick and we can't go outside. So so we'll see what happens by the end of the year, but I'm feeling good about that.
Awesome.